almost funny. You did everything that looks like you're studying, except for the part that you actually learned studying. And honestly, it's not your fault. We're currently living in the whole performative studying epidemic where half of what students are doing is basically just academic cosplay. It looks productive, it feels productive, but are you actually being productive? No. So, today let's talk about the habits that seem smart and look useful, but when you actually start doing it, means nothing at all. Before we continue on with the video, the thing no one wants to admit, a lot of students don't study. They perform in order to make it look like they're studying in front of other people. It's like acting, you're doing the motions, but there's no real transfer happening there. Let me show you what I mean, because I'm sure you have been some of this. Firstly, the read every word method. You open the lecture slides and suddenly you're reading them like they are a holy scripture. Every bullet point, every definition, every citation, you don't even blink because in your head, missing even one line feels like an academic scene. But there's a twist. Classes are not written like novels. You're not supposed to be able to digest them word by word. There's usually a core to what it is that you're learning, and everything else is just supporting detail. But the panic of if I skip anything, I will fail keeps students glued to this method. Next is I fully understand this one hard topic before moving on to the next one. This one is the one that gets almost every single person that I know. You're on a topic that's confusing, it is annoying, you can't get it, you're getting more and more frustration. Your brain, for some reason, is just rejecting every single sentence. You can't just seem to be focused at all. You read one line, you forgot what you have read, you have to read it again, and you want to move on, but your pride says, no, we're going to finish this and do nothing else. 3 hours later, your brain is fried. Your motivation is gone, and the next 5 topics that you planned on completing are untouched. It feels like doing an exam and you're deciding to go for the hardest question first, which is completely fine if you're able to do it. But if you get stuck on that hard question and you're not going to answer anything else, then you're obviously going to get a 0 in your test. So, why is it that when you study, you go for the hard topic, you don't understand it, you don't move on, and you get stuck with it, and you're not going to understand anything, and you're just wasting your time? It feels noble. It feels like you're being disciplined, but you're literally just draining your battery on just one thing that isn't just actually going to be helpful for you. Another trap is the aesthetic productivity pressure. You're copying the studying habits of people who are nothing like you. If you're going to be copying the study habits of Skylar Chess, for example, who I love very much, I love watching her videos, but in my opinion, she has a very unrelatable lifestyle. She has a job in social media and she is very successful in it. She also has quite an privileged background in which she doesn't really have the necessity to be doing work, and therefore she doesn't have that pressure. She also doesn't have the pressure of having to take care of her siblings and things like that in the way that some other people may have. Everybody has their own circumstances. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying that everybody has their own circumstances, and the way that you're being brought up and the way that you are living right now may not be the same as how somebody else is living. So therefore, you shouldn't be copying how that person is studying. If you're having completely different lifestyles because they have different privileges, they have different things, they have different resources that you may or may not have. So I will highly suggest that you find methods that work for you, and you can do this by piecing up different study habits from different creators and putting them all together. For example, you see your friends studying at study cafes. They're making time lapse videos. They look so effortless and they look so focused, as if they're born with an annotated PDF in their mind. Meanwhile, you go there and all of a sudden you are super hyper aware of every single person that is over there, and also every single noise, the machine wiring, the toilet flushing, whatever it is, people talking and all. Then you keep forcing yourself to do the same thing because you see that other peoples are doing it and it's working for them. This is performative studying at its peak. If it's not working for you, move on. Do not force it. So let me say something that you probably haven't thought about it. Most students don't choose performative studying because they're clueless. They choose it because it feels safe. There's something comforting about the action that looks academically serious. Reading every word feels safe, highlighting feels safe, and copying textbook paragraphs feels safe. It is literally not because you believe that these methods actually work. It's just because you feel safe doing it. You think of these habits as rituals that have low risk but high rewards, when in reality, it's the complete opposite. As humans, we love the illusion of progress. We will spend hours and hours on doing the hardest looking task because it looks like we are doing something really well. It feels meaningful and there's an emotion tied to it. Guess what? Your brain doesn't actually care how serious you look. It just cares about the knowledge you're giving it. And this brings me to therapy session of this video. You need to separate the feeling of working hard from the reality of actually learning something. Those two things I want you to remember is not the same. And trust me, that is perfectly okay. It does not make you a lazy person, it makes you a human. So let's talk about what actually will work. This is the part that performative students don't actually learn. This is the real checklist of effective learning. Number 1. You want to start with the curriculum goals before anything else. You want to check what your course actually wants you to know, learning objectives, syllabus points, exam specifications. These are going to be your blueprints because they are literally made in a way that it's acting as a blueprint for you. If you're learning something that isn't in the curriculum for the exam itself, you don't need to revise it. Yes, it may be good for a long term understanding of the subject, but you don't need to memorize it for the exam. So, why do you need to go over it again? Secondly, you want to pay attention to patterns. Top students will never tell you this, but all we do is just spot patterns. The exams are quite repetitive. In university, that might be quite different, but in A levels, high school, whatever it is, it's quite repetitive. The teachers repeat themselves, the subject repeat themselves. It is the same subject being taught every single year. There's only a set of number of questions that you could actually get from this type of knowledge. For example, if I tell you that this is water bottle and there's only a set number of questions, you can ask about this. How big is the water bottle? How much water can it hold? How many liters of water can it hold? What can iterate the type of questions? Because they are still the same type of questions over and over again. So what you want to do is to look at past papers, topic questions, and questions from different universities, tutorial questions, different colleges, different people. Ask your seniors, ask ChatGPT to generate you the same type of question over and over again until you run out of questions. Once you do that, you will then be able to spot the patterns, because there will be concepts that keep coming up 3 to 4 times or even more. Those are the ones that you want to take note of, because those are the ones that have the patterns. So you don't need to memorize everything, you just need to have that high yield target. Number 3 is cover what you can understand first. This part deserves real attention because honestly, this can change your entire studying experience. A lot of students think that if I don't understand the hardest topic first, I am going to be failing. But that mindset will quietly sabotage you for the exact reason that we said before, because you are going to be stuck there and you are never going to move on. So, when you do this, there's no momentum, there's no consistency, there's no confidence, and there's no foundation. And that you're building up with in your knowledge. So, what you want to do is start with the concepts that you understand quickly in order for your brain to get into the groove of studying. This should be the ones that will only take you like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in order to get going and in order to be able to revise immediately. But here's the problem with this method, and I want you to remember this because I'm pretty sure that you have done like this, but you probably haven't noticed it, and it is that students tend to go for the easy topics over and over and over again because they feel like it's familiar. This is another form of performative studying. So you have two sides to this. You have to decide where you're constantly going for the hard topics, thinking if I can handle this, I can handle the rest. But then you get stuck here, or you go for the easy topics and you tell yourself, I'm going to master this fully, be able to answer every question that comes to this before going on to the next topic. Well, yes, those two are very similar, and I'm telling you to go for the easy one first. There is a balance that you need to take. You're going to use the easy topics to warm up for the hard topics. You're not going to be stuck in both, because when you're stuck in both, that is when it becomes performative. So when you start with the things that make sense first, you build momentum, your brain warms up, the information will stick for a lot longer for all the topics that follow afterwards. You will gain confidence, you will gain a mental framework, and the next level will become super easier. But again, I'm telling you right now, do not use the easy topic as a way for you to procrastinate from doing the hard topics. Only do that for 10 to 15 minutes so that you can warm up with your brain to do the hard topics. And do not get stuck there. If you get stuck in the hard topic, move on, do another one, and then come back to it later on. As soon as you do this, trust me, the harder topics will become a lot easier to do. It's just the way it is, and that becomes a small win on its own, and every win will stack up to make you a lot more confident. And lastly, number 4, study where your brain behaves. Forget the aesthetic. You don't need fairy lights and a milk tea next to your notes in order to be able to be productive. Sorry, a slip of tongue. You want to ask yourself, where do I actually focus? In the library, in a cafe, in the park, at home, wherever it is that your brain feels at least resistance to study, be there. There's no universal rule for everyone, it's just what works for you. So let's be honest for a moment, and as if I haven't been honest the entire time. But so many students spend their entire academic career at school thinking that the problem with studying is them. I'm not disciplined enough, I'm not smart like other people, my brain just doesn't work. No, your brain is completely fine. You have just been using tools and methods that aren't working specifically for you. And that is what is making you become a performative student. And you know what? You know what's funny? Everyone thinks that everybody else has their lives together when literally Nobody has their lives together. If you watch closely, even people who you will consider as top students are actually they're actually struggling as well. They struggle with the exact same things that you do: procrastination, forgetfulness, panic, studying, burnout. Nobody is born naturally good at learning. It's something that we nurture, and it's something that we change and grow and learn as we go along. So let me wrap this up with a single point. If something doesn't work for you, stop doing it. Even if it looks smart, even if it makes you feel good, if it is not working for you, you're wasting your time. Your education is not a stage performance. You do not have to be acting in order to get good grades. I know that's the whole thing about faking it till you make it, but there's an extent that you need to go with that. You need to study in a way that respects your brain instead of going against your brain. So you never have a studying problem. You just had a method problem. So if you ever feel guilty about not looking like you're being productive, then remember this. You're not here to be seen studying. You're here to actually study. And therefore, you are here to understand things well enough for you to be able to use that knowledge in your future, whatever it is that you may do with. Aside from that, I hope you found that video helpful. If you did, then don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and share with your friends that you think may find it helpful as well. And do let me know down below as well which one of this you found the most relatable to. Join the smart side.